Okay, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So for today's video, it's a very quick one just to go into building resilience in a fragile UK economy. Now, if the UK economy actually cracked tomorrow, would you survive? It's a valid question. Stick around. I'm going to show you how to build real financial resilience that the system won't teach you and may just help weather the storm. So with rising debt, with job insecurity, and also, let's face it, pretty fragile councils, the UK economy feels like a tinderbox. It's one bad headline away from total collapse. Preparation matters now more so than ever before. So by the end of this video, you'll have practical steps that you can use to protect yourself financially, mentally, and also socially from the cracks that are already there appearing in the system. So let's get into it. So why is it so fragile? Well, I guess there are four reasons. You've got rising interest rates, you've got public sector cuts, you've got councils that, let's face it, are on shaky ground, many of them going bankrupt, or at least filing for it, and you've got falling real wages. Now you combine all of these four things together and you've got a perfect storm which makes a fragile economy. Now you add to that with a sprinkling of personal debt on the rise, and credit card debt is up 10% year on year. Buy now, pay later schemes are absolutely exploding in popularity. You just need to literally look at their web traffic to understand this. And also a savings gap where over a third, in fact 36% of UK households have less than 1,500 quid in savings to tide them through, should the worst happen. Now, inflation obviously has a hidden impact. The cost of essentials rising faster than wages, it all erodes your spending power. So basically the money that you already have is becoming worth less. And that's massive. So some practical resilience tips that you can have. Well, for a start, build an emergency fund. If you can do it safely and without detriment to your day-to-day life or that of your family, build an emergency fund. Ideally, you want at least a month's wages or at least a month's living expenses in order to protect yourself and your family should the worst happen. Ideally, you want 3 to 6 months. Now, I know that seems ridiculous. 3 to 6 months might be, £10,000-15,000. But trust me, if you lost your job or you and your partner lost your job, that £15,000 is going to save your home. Could save your marriage and also a lot more. So worth considering. You need to diversify your income streams. Try not to be just reliant on one source of income. Side hustles, passive income, that type of thing. Reduce reliance on debt. Try not to use it. Now, I know you can use 0% debt and everything else, but you're still taking on debt that still needs to be paid at some other future point, which means at that future point, your income is going to be whatever it is, less the debt that you owe. So you're still cutting yourself short. Makes no sense to use debt like that unless you're clever enough and rich enough to use debt as a way of making money by buying assets that make more money than the cost of the debt and yada, yada, yada. Then generally it's not a very good idea to use debt at all, if you can help it. But also, most importantly, develop in-demand skills. Level yourself up. Level those up around you. Level your family up. Get yourself into markets that are emerging. AI, blockchain, and all the rest of it. These are things, there are jobs that haven't been invented yet that will be invented in the next 1, 2, 5, 10 years that will be based around AI and blockchain. And we don't teach people about this. There are very few places you can learn about this. Much of it is going to be you teaching yourself and just understanding. But there are communities out there and there are resources. You just need to look for them. Mental resilience. Practical resilience is great, but mental resilience. You need to learn how to handle uncertainty. And most importantly, stop that doom scrolling on social media because it paralyzes people. It paralyzes your productivity. It paralyzes your sense of being. And think about it, the average person spends about 4.5 hours a day on a phone. That's mental. And I suspect actually it's a lot more. I suspect it's probably double that for some people, if that's the average. But even then, 4.5 hours a day on a phone. Imagine what you could do with 4.5 hours a day. That's half a working day every day. So basically every week, that's another 3.5 working days that you could be earning money for those, 90 hours, whatever it is. But instead, you're flicking through funny dances on TikTok, earning nothing. Think about it. Lots of us have more free time if we choose to use it more productively, which we could use to make more money. And we need community resilience, local networks, skill sharing, solidarity movements, whatever it might be. But these offer real life buffers that can help you, real world help. And a lot of this seems to be missing on people. Not everything has to happen on the internet. So what are your thoughts on this? How would you build resilience in a fragile economy? Drop it in the comments, let me know. YouTube is going to put another video up there. Like, follow, subscribe, that would be massive. And yeah, another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.